So what kind of cleaning products do you use on your Skibidi Toilet toys? Yuck. On the table today at Squirrel Stampede, half of you will be excited as we have Skibidi Toilet back on the table, the Series 2 Deluxe action figures. And Bonkers Toys was kind enough to send a couple of these figures over, and I found a few of them myself too, and we've enabled the full table full of toilets. So if you're looking for an actual Deluxe Skibidi Toilet figure this time around, he is actually included in his own series of Deluxe action figures. Plus some very interesting extras. This is some advanced level brain rot today. And of course we have to have an RC toilet too. The squirrels just can't get enough of this thing. So Skibidi up with us today as we check out this new deluxe series of action figures from Bonkers Toys.
Squirrel Stampede!
Please, squawk!
Squawk share!
And squirrel!
Alright, let's give this series 2 a collection a go. With the toilet troublesome figure of the day, the one and only Skibidi Toilet, the one and only super brain rot of the year, the one and only true commander of brain rot. A lot of people are always on either side of the fence with the reviews on Skibidi Toilet. Remember, we do these to just kind of show off everything that's kind of happening in the toy aisle right now. This video isn't about a yay or nay for Skibidi, it's about what is Skibidi. Might help if I could pronounce him right. So it's funny, here we are on Series 2, and now we get a Skibidi action figure, toilet figure. For some reason, cleverly omitted from the first series, kind of seemed very odd not to have a standard action figure of your most famous toilet guy. I think we made do with one of the smaller micro figures from the first or second series there, but now we have the second series of advanced deluxe action figures. My oh my, what are we going to do with this? To give credit where credit is due, Bonkers Toys has done a pretty decent job with these. High likeliness, articulated figures of deluxeness. The second series gives us Dark TV Man, Detainer Astro Toilet, Skibidi Toilet, and Berserker Skibidi Mutant. And maybe that's just enough for the collection now. Series 1 and 2 should probably do you in. I don't follow the lore too much, so I can't imagine too many more characters really needed than these first two series, but we'll see what happens. These Series 2 figures are dropping here and there. I'm still seeing lots of Series 1. I ordered from Amazon, and they're running approximately $20 to $25 a piece. Well, Bonkers did send a couple of these over too, so thank you, Bonkers, for sharing some of these awesome figures. Alright, I'm actually very anxious to see how this one turns out, because I've run through many nice humanoid action figures over the years, but never a man's head sticking out of a toilet figure. Deluxe. That's a first. You don't get that honor very often. And credit to these nice boxes. You can repackage these like I've done a lot with the Series 1. Since I'm not personally playing with these on a daily basis, I like to leave them in package and just display or storage as I can. So there it is, Toilet Troubles, Skibidi Toilet. Toilet Troubles is actually my Minecraft expansion idea of involving toilets, going to the bathroom, having another bar. That you would need to use the restroom on Minecraft World with toilets, things like that. This toy is very odd. His head seems a little bit higher up than normal, would you say, or is that about right? I have not really flown through many of the episodes of the lore, so I don't totally know. Usually you see his head down a little lower, but maybe they're just trying to give him some reach to make it up to the other action figure sizes. Right now he's at approximately 5 inches tall, whereas many of the other figures' standard size is about 6 inches. So that's probably what they're doing, trying to give him some extra height without overscaling the toilet. Articulation a little bit here. We can rotate his head. It's even on a articulated joint here. That is just creepy as anything I've ever really shown on here. And then we've got a little bit of a toilet. You can't really close the seat, can you? Because his head's sticking out of it. And I don't know if we could even pop his head out. Maybe. I don't want to like break something that we just opened. But there it is. Skibidi Toilet, an official deluxe figure. Can't open the back tank. It is odd. They placed him on a little display pad too, which is interesting. They must have figured he'd tip over, so they gave him a little stability on this black pad, but it doesn't really serve anything else to it. I don't know what else to say about this other than it's really weird. Again, everyone is on different sides of the fence to this one. You're going to have the super fan, and then you're going to have the other fan who says that's just brain rot. I come from a perspective of liking a little bit of everything, just a little bit, and not something a whole bunch. So I find odd humor with this one, and certainly think we are going to reflect very bizarrely on this period in about 5 to 10 years. And so that's a deluxe Skibidi, and it turns out to be a pretty good deluxe figure for what you could do with a guy's head sticking out of a toilet. Alright, Landry, find us our next figure.
Hey, Crossman, but you're not gonna like it. We already opened him.
Oh, that's right. We already got a little excited and opened up the Detainer Astro Toilet guy. And since we kind of placed on some arms, although I do believe these arms can pop off. Yeah, they can pop off and we could restore into package. We just didn't get to it. Now for Skibidi lacking anything really fun in play, this guy really makes up for it. There's a lot of things going on with this. He is a high-ranking member of the Astro Toilets, they say. First appeared in episode 60 and known for 3 robotic arms equipped with claws that can grab, crush, and destroy. Formidable and arrogant fighter, and has been injured and upgraded in a few times. So he's a battler, and his figure really shows that all around. It's really odd fun. So both the side arms are on hinges at the elbow. They don't really move at the post that you jam it into the side of the black toilet. The claws are kind of fun though. They rotate with little plungers on their ends, so they rotate and claw forward and open and close. He's got one on each side to use, and then like a scorpion tail one up top, which is also really interesting. Then for the black toilet chariot riding atop a hovercraft-like thing, not really an actual flight, but upon my hand, you have the Astro Toilet Detainer's head, who seems a lot more easier to stomach than what we see of Skibidi over there. He just freaks me out. This guy with the helmet, I think, softens his ugliness. And I like the black overall. It's a little less polished white porcelain. This is a little scarier, a little more war active. Just so odd. The second oddest deluxe figure we're showing today. Series 2 is kind of slowly going onto shelves. I think you're going to see this guy more often as he came out just a little earlier too. So there you go. He's kind of on a display pad too, but he rests softly, lowly on the table. And out of all the Skibidi Toilet toys so far, he might just actually be the funnest deluxe action figure with these arm claws to move about and grab things and throw. So keep an eye out for this one if you are on Team Astro Toilet. Alright, Landry. Let's get our next figure out.
Right away, boss man.
We can only tremble on who he'll bring in next.
How about this one?
Who did he drop? Who did he drop? Dark TV Man. I gotta admit, I get a little kick out of the TV Men, Cameraman Alliance guys. Maybe it's because I work in a studio with cameras and lights. It's kind of funny and odd. And this Dark TV Man figure is pretty kind of spooky with the purple glow on him. The way the purple contrasts on the red here and on the figure even, it's just kind of glowy. I like that. It's really cool. We opened and unboxed TV Woman last time. I left her back in her box to keep her safe. So these two now will have companionship. But let's see Dark TV Man out. Whoa! Yes, very interesting, yes. Couple pistol accessories. Gently. And released. And it's Dark TV Man. Here's a guy to place near your screen to let you know, yeah, I probably watched a little bit too much today and should go for a walk out in the park with some nice classical music. Do it if you really need to de-stress. Well, this guy figure is really quite interesting. Again, with the purple, the way it glows, it's an interesting choice of color on a toy. It really stands out. And maybe it's the extra little flamies coming from his arms and back that kind of give it that extra, like, vibrancy of how it's just radiating from his body. The microtubes in his head are staticizing my socks for sure. I will shark pop through the screen if I may. Yeah, that Decepticon purple looks really good on you. I will say his arms look really long. There's something proportioned going on with these arms. They're almost hanging below, almost to his knee point. Usually when you hang your arms low, your hands don't reach your knees. I don't think. I mean, maybe some basketball players. So I feel like the proportion is a little odd, but it is working pretty well. It's pretty exciting how many toy companies can do an action figure really well now. There was a time when only a few could pull off a figure, but now everyone can, which is really cool, because then anyone can grab a license and make us a cool figure line. Articulation up in the head, rotation there with the screen rotation, I should say. Shoulders that can pivot and reach out, rotate at that midpoint. Maybe it's the shoulder part, it just feels extra long. Hinges of doubleness on the elbow, and then rotationable wrist, which you can hold on to accessory weapons. And well, there is a midpoint articulation in the torso there for a little bit of extra movement, kind of tight. And then hips that have ball joints can reach and pivot, and knees with the double jointedness, and hingy feet down there. A little bit tight, but we can hinge for some positioning. So lots of points of articulation on these Bonkers verse figures, which they've done really well for not often doing action figures. They might come out to be a little more glossy, how would you say it? A little more gummy plastic than, say, a Marvel Legends with a little more harsh sculpting detail. So these are going to feel a little bit softer and gooier, if that's a way of saying it. But that's kind of how they appear in an animated on-screen look. So I have no quarrels of the plastic they use. I think they just turn out pretty well. Cameraman. I think it was Cameraman who had like a very glossy, slick style trench coat. So glossy is another really good word to tag on some of these figures. Yet the Astro Detainer came out to be very matte feeling. So I feel like they're evolving as they're going along with this series. Uh-oh, he's got him! He's got him! Give me that back. So I'm oddly having some very much fun with this one. There is some just craziness to this series, this oddball series. Fun to see a second collection of deluxe figures, right? And so we should have one more. Who are we gonna show up next, Landry?
Hang on, I've got a real killer for you.
I think Landry somehow broke the fifth wall on that one. It's Berserker Skibidi Mutant. I've heard a few people looking forward to this one. Kind of very similar to Astro Toilet, just like, what is going on here? Well, he's a large, muscular antagonist who, of course, has both a toilet body and a speaker man-like physique, right? And then you add laser cannons and a jetpack, and you got something to really rot your brain. So much brain rot this year, it's hard to keep our minds actually, like, focused good. Eat carrots and broccoli. Why am I now just seeing the toilet bowl armor under his chin? What is this guy making me think of? Who is this guy reminding me of? Something from the time of early computer animated shows where they were just really oddly making half realistic stuff like stuff. Maybe something from Shrek, I'm not sure. So this guy, everything just taking the next step of the weirdest thing on the table today. Berserker, gosh, where do you start with him? Large upper body. Tiny lower body, like it just hangs and flies him in the balance. He must just not use his legs very much. With that jetpack he's wearing and this weird, strange weather station up top. Oh, that's a toilet flusher valve, of course. And we have arms up on his shoulders that could be a little longer. They are hinged. I thought maybe they'd be ball jointed at the top there, but they're not. I'm worried if I may crack that, so I'm not going to do that. But they do hinge up and down. Head rotation inside that black toilet bowl. Shoulders with hinginess to rotate a little tight under these pads. Elbows of double jointedness. Fists here. A little double articulation on the lower glove and upper fist. Torso movement here. Legs that can sit. Knees double jointed. He's a little tight right now getting him out of package. There's several points here I can play around with him, but I don't want to overdo it. That is the weirdest figure of the day. He must have a lot of charisma. His face kind of shows that. Watching the show, he must be just a great super. I just haven't really seen him on screen very much, as I have not really explored that lore very far. But I know we had a lot of requests for the second series, so I had to round them up and we can check them out. Does he even stand, I wonder? He's so top heavy. It's gonna be a real miracle getting this standing. Little tiny feet, heavy upper body. No, I'm not even gonna get there. He's just a little bit wobbly loose too in the legs, which just throws off any balancing. Funny, they gave the others like display pads on Skibidi there and no little jetpack holder or something to rest him into the sky. But there you go, Berserker Skibidi Mutant here today. What's left of our stage, Landry? So Landry is driving the giant Skibidi Toilet RC, also out here at this second series or third wave of Bonkers Toys Skibidi Toilet items. The first wave didn't have deluxe action figures, so it kind of throws you, but we are in the third wave. Well, this RC toilet takes the cake of weirdness, and in fact, we've been playing with it all the time. If you've got nice hardwood floors to drive this around and plenty of space, oh, sorry Landry, it's actually pretty entertaining, and of course we can eject the Skibidi Toilet head via this great remote control. There he is. And we can change the sound. And he will continue to do his thing. The only downside is he doesn't auto-retract. You've got to do that yourself, but we've been having so much fun with this. This RC toilet can really make the day go by when you're bored. Just make sure your neighbors know it's an RC toilet so that no one accidentally uses it, as it's quite large. Drives like a tank too. You got 2 control sticks, and you can do various tricks and stunts and turnings. Cookies on the table with this interesting toilet set. This third wave also features this plunger blaster out there. Kind of like a Nerf dart plunger shooter where you can place upon your arm and pop out plungers across the room. Alright then, so out of box. Okay, the design of this thing is actually pretty sick. I mean, toilet sick. Look at this thing. It is intensely designed. I feel like you would totally use this in toilet troubles of the 27th and a half century. Look at the plunger darts. They're actual plungers. They make the coolest sound. Just your standard Nerf darts with plungers. And I believe this thing was designed to hold said plunger darts in these 4 little corners. That's nice. It's not often enough you get to have storage spots for your darts. In the heat of battle, it's kind of hard to pull them from your pockets. Okay, so to engage this weapon, we got a handle there and a wrist strap there. So you basically kind of hold it over just like this. Once again in my life, I have been gifted with very, very thin wrists. And of course an upper body of intense thickness, just like this guy. Okay, let's go target practicing. See if I can hit at least one of these characters on the table. I feel like Dark TV Man might be a good target to start with. But we'll see, we'll see. Oh, to load, simply just get plunger into stock barrel. Pull back your plunger. We're set to press the red button on the back to fire. What kind of a grazing hit on TV Man. I doubt I'd ever get a perfect shot on that screen of his. Let's just try this giant toilet. Wow, just bounced off the detainer. Yet to knock anything down. How about Skibidi? There's a nice little viewfinder target that I just used, and it worked. I did get him in the head on that. There's just nothing to stick to. Dark TV Man. Down he goes. Can I try to get it stuck to the back of the bowl? Gotta be able to hit that back. Too much power. Ah, there we go. I'll just cheat by editing. So if you're looking for a little bit of Skibidi Toilet target practice, just check out this blaster. It's quite the splash. I think that's 3 Skibidi Toilet reviews now at Squirrel Stampede. One of the weirdest. I don't even know what to say about half the time, but it's fun to share. If you like today's video, please give us a squirrel eye, but squammet your favorite, most interesting Skibidi Toilet character, or the Skibidi Toilet character you despise the most. Thanks so much for watching. Here's a few videos that YouTube recommends. Give those a twirl down the toilet. Thanks so much for watching. That's what I have to say about that.